In this presentation, we try to answer the question: do the description of the events in the hadiths match the geographical and archaeological traces we have today? Now we return to Mecca and look at Safa and Marwa. There are people who call them Mountain al-Safa and Mountain al-Marwa. Except their height look like less than 20 meters. We read the meaning of mountain in the dictionary of the tongue of the Arabs, and we learned that it is a name for each wedge of the earth's wedges. When it gets big and tall between the wedges, the heights, the thin and fat mountains. And if the wedge is small and dissociated, then it is a mount, a hill, or a mound. Safa and Marwa seem to be, in our view, mounds. The Hadith of Ibn Umar number 102, in the Book of Pilgrimage 25, from Al-Bukhari, recalls that Muhammad was walking and running in the bed of the stream, while he was performing tawaf, the ritual of going and returning between Al-Safa and Al-Marwa. Point 55. Where is the bed of the stream today? Who deleted it if it was present? It seems that it was in another place, and the Muslims today cannot perform the ritual in the way Muhammad did. And, near Safa, we look at the Kaaba, and our brothers performing the ramel around it, ritual rounds around it, tawaf, in swift walking, ramel. We read the meaning of the verb they use for it, ramala, in the dictionary of the tongue of the Arabs. And learned that, the man performs ramel, if he walks swiftly and move his shoulders at the same time. While doing that he does not jump or accelerate, and the one who is performing the ritual, tawaf, of the house, the Kaaba, performs this walk, ramel, following the example of Muhammad and his companions, who were doing it to inform the inhabitants of Mecca, that they got force in them. And we recall the Hadith of Ibn Abbas number 88, in the Book of Pilgrimage 25, from Al-Bukhari, where Muhammad and his companions came, and the associators said that he was coming to them, and he had been weakened by the fever of Yathrib. So Muhammad ordered his companions to do ramel, in the first 3 ashwat, rounds of tawaf of the Kaaba, and to walk between the 2 corners, the black stone and Yemenite corner. And the only reason why he did not order them to do ramel in all the ashwat, was the pity for them. From the dictionary of the tongue of the Arabs, we learn that ashwat is the plural of sha'u and it means 1 round of tawaf around the Kaaba, the house. It was originally a distance from the land that the Persians count as a maitain and the like. We learn from the rich dictionary that a maitain for the horse race is the wide ground patch for the horse race, a stadium. We learn from history that horse competitions in the field were known, and the turn around the stadium was about 400 meters long. We know the dimensions of the Kaaba accurately. Its width is less than 12 meters and the length of the Kaaba with the Al-Haytim is less than 22 meters. The length of the round turn here is about 75 meters. Point 56. How come the companions, the heroes, got tired after they performed ramel 3 times 75 meters, which is less than 300 meters, while they rode their horses from Medina to Mecca, which is 450 kilometers? Is the Kaaba in Mecca the same that the one at the time of Muhammad? Did it get smaller? Then we recall the Hadith of Abdullah number 39, in the Book of Oppressions 46, from Al-Bukhari, where Muhammad entered Mecca the day of conquest, and there were 360 stone idols around the house, the Kaaba. He started stabbing the idols with a stick he had in his hand and reciting, "Truth has come," and the error went, "Truth has come and let not the error be started neither returned." Point 57. If 1 round around the Kaaba, sha'u, is 75 meters, and there were 360 stone idols around the house, Kaaba, then the width of the unitary stone idol, is 1/4 of a meter. How come that, if almost all of those who were found in archaeological excavations, were around a meter wide? And now, we want to get out of Mecca, by following the footsteps of Muhammad. Hence, we recall the Hadith of Ibn Umar number 62, in the Book of Pilgrimage 25, from al-Bukhari, where Muhammad was entering Mecca from Qatta, from the higher Thaniya, in the flat part, and he would exit Mecca from the lower Thaniya. And the Hadith of Aisha, number 64, in the Book of Pilgrimage 25, from al-Bukhari, where Muhammad entered Mecca, the year of the conquest, from Qatta, and exited it from Quetta. Hence, we look for the lower Thaniya in Quetta. We learned that it was situated in Al-Lat, south of Al-Haram. However, we did not find any obstacle that the road has to take in it, so that it be the passageway of a Thaniya. Hence, we were not able to exit Mecca like Muhammad did. Point 58. How come the region of the lower Thaniya disappeared? Did somebody destroy the obstacle, and deprive all our Muslim brothers from following the footsteps of Muhammad, while exiting Mecca? This is not reasonable. Hence, is the location of Mecca today, the same location where the sacred mosque, the Kaaba, was at the time of Muhammad? Then, we recall the Hadith of Nafi 243, in the Book of Pilgrimage 25, from al-Bukhari, where Ibn Umar used to sleep in Tuwa, between the two Thaniyas. Then, he would enter from the Thaniya that is in Upper Mecca. And from the Hadith 60 and 62, we understand that he was doing that to follow the example of Muhammad. Hence, we go to the well of Tuwa. We want to follow the steps of Ibn Umar to the Thaniya that is located in the upper part of Mecca. While doing so, we notice that there is a way from the well to the harem that is straight. We learn that the Thaniya of Qatta is known nowadays as Raya al-Hujun, and that it separates Jabal Qa'iqan from Jabal al-Hujun, and that it leads to al-Batha, on the cemetery of the people of Mecca. Point 59. What obliged Muhammad to walk all that turn in order to enter Mecca, even after the conquest of Mecca, if the direct way was easier? It is against logic. We got informed that the Tuwa well is located in the Jarval neighborhood, between the Raya of Abu Lahab, and the dome in the Tuwa Valley. The Tuwa Valley is the point where Muhammad distributed the members of the Muslim army, coming to Mecca in order to conquer it. Muhammad issued his order to Zubair bin al-Awwam, to enter into Mecca, and with him some comrades, from the site of Thaniya Qatta, known nowadays as the Raya al-Hujun. Another order was issued to Saifullah al-Maslul Khalid bin al-Walid, to enter al-Qura, Mecca, through the site of al-Lat. With him went some number of Arab tribes, such as the tribes of Bani Afar, Jahina, and Aslam, and Mazina. The site of al-Lat is located at the bottom of the city of Mecca. And then, Muhammad moved in the direction of Raya Zakir, in order to enter the noble Mecca. Point 60. From the map, it appears that Raya Zakir is north of Qatta and that Qatta is north of the harem. It is not logical that Muhammad didn't send any army through the direct way to the harem, and that he moved away from the battle, and that the army of Zubair was between him and Quraysh, as if he was afraid. The surah always describes him courageous, fighting with his two swords in the heat of the battle. Hence, it appears to us impossible that this battle happened as was said, in Mecca. And now, we recall that, according to the prophetic surah, Quraysh sent, from Mecca, thousands of fighters against Medina. Hence Mecca had, at least, at that time, 5,000 inhabitants. And those inhabitants needed food and beverage. Archaeological excavations didn't show any import of such quantities of food, in Muhammad's time. And the climate around Mecca, in Muhammad's time, and, also nowadays, does not permit agriculture in fields, due to the lack of water, and to the high temperatures. And 5,000 inhabitants need 50 square kilometers, at the very least, of fertile fields, to get their food. Point 61. How come there were 5,000 inhabitants in Mecca, if they didn't get food and beverage?